Hello, I'm Kim, Rooster Rossiter, and on a snow-filled day in Southeast Virginia, this is Spotlight Saturday, episode 52.
Hi everyone! Oh my gosh, it's snowing really hard. I'm Briley, and this week we are doing a cool video that was requested by Miss Pam from Philadelphia to do a Meet the Author / Born an Angel Q&A video, and so that's what we're gonna do. I have Born an Angel here, and before we get into the questions that you guys submitted on Facebook, I wanted to go over a few frequently asked questions that we get. First of all, this book was illustrated by Jennifer Ware, and she is a great friend of ours. We absolutely love her. She went to high school with my parents, and then when she found out about the book, she volunteered to use her talent to illustrate the book, and it's absolutely amazing. Also, in the beginning and very end of every Spotlight Saturday, as well as in an additional video that talks about the book, it'll be linked down below if you want to see it. We show it in schools all the time when we do book readings. That is sang by someone named Brianna Babineaux, and she lives in Louisiana, and again is a great friend of ours, and she wrote that song one day a couple years back when she found out about Ainsley's Angels when it was just starting out, and it's called Born an Angel, which and so we absolutely love her too. It is snowing literally so hard. A lot of people think that I did the illustrations and that I wrote the song and sang the song. I did not do that. I wrote Born an Angel on my own, but that is kind of where my talent ends. Awesome. Okay, let's get into these questions. Alright, so we got a ton of questions on Facebook, and I have them in a little hat here. So, first question comes from Vicky Wallace, and it says, I love Born an Angel, and I want to know if you will write another book. Oh my gosh, so many people asked this question, and I've been asked this question since I wrote the book in 6th grade when I was 11 years old. And at that time in my life, I would have answered, yes, of course, I want to write a chapter book. And I always thought that I would write that when I was in 10th grade. That was just an age I had in my head. Well, guess who's in 10th grade? Now that I'm at a different point in my life and Ainsley's no longer here, I don't think I'm going to write a chapter book. However, I have not completely ruled out the idea of writing another children's book, or kind of like a Born an Angel Part 2. There's so many ways I could go with that, and having sold almost 5,000 copies of Born an Angel, it's coming up time to do a second printing of the book, and that offers up so many possibilities, so we'll have to see where it goes. Got my Ainsley's Angels beanie, pulling him out of his hat. Okay. This question, Becky White asks, what impact do you think your book has made? This is kind of a hard question for me because I love Born an Angel and I'm proud of it, and I know that it's doing great things and making an impact, but at the same time, I feel very humbled to have written this book, and whenever I hear about people who are being touched by my book and by the work of Ainsley's Angels, it kind of takes me back for a second because, like I said, I don't always see it that way, but at the end of the day, I think that the impact that Born an Angel is making is changing people's ideas of the special needs community and of what inclusion means. Because it's easy to say like, oh, that's so cool, they go and they run races and stuff, but when you're a little kid in 3rd grade and you're sitting in your cafeteria and you look over and you see a child with autism and you go and sit with them, that's what I want. That is what I want, and that is what I hope my book is doing, and that's why I want to spread this as far as I can.
Question 3.
Okay, also I forgot to mention this in the beginning, but if your question is answered, we're sending you a mailed copy of Born an Angel, so let's see who's next. Okay. This question is from Angel Athlete Rider Gage in Hampton Roads. I love Gage. This question is, I would like to know if it was all your idea or did your parents bring up the idea to you? This is a funny story. So my dad wrote a chapter in Rick Hoyt's book, One Letter at a Time. It's an awesome book. You should read it. But shortly after he did that, he got approached by Mascot Books, and they asked if he would want to write a second book, a children's book, about Ainsley's story. And so he tried, and it wasn't the best I've ever read. He tried, okay? And so he got the idea shortly after realizing that he wasn't gonna really be the best person to write a children's book. He came to me and asked if I would do it, and I was not the kid that was sitting, reading every single book in the library and writing in all these journals, but I did like to write, and so when he asked me, I was overwhelmed, but I could see the places that this could go, and while it was, I guess, his idea, he brought it up to me, I wrote the book on my own. Like, that was me, but okay. Alright. It's cold out here. Okay, this question, if I can open it. This question is from Michelle, and she asks, how has being Ainsley's sibling helped shape you, your outlook, and your own personal mission? Alright, so for me, having Ainsley in my life has changed every aspect of my life. Whenever I was little, I was really shy, and as I've grown and as I've written my book and had Ainsley in my life for the 12 years that I did have her in my life, I've realized that she's taught me to not take moments for granted, which maybe that sounds a little cliche, but she's also taught me to live life to the fullest. And whenever I was first writing my book, there was a lot of nerves that came with that, of course, as one could imagine, but ultimately I think Ainsley is what really inspired me to go for what I knew was best. I knew that I needed to share her legacy and her mission of inclusion, and that changed my outlook on the world and the person that I am and the things that I do, and I'm so grateful to have had that in my life. Alright, next question. Oh no, I got two. Okay. We're gonna go with this one. This question comes from Susan, and she says, Briley, you were so connected to your sister, whereas that's not always the case with siblings. What do you feel made that different for you? So this is an interesting question because I do have two siblings, right? I have Ainsley and I have Camden, and Ainsley is special needs and Camden is not. And so I have kind of the blizzard out here. I have both kind of viewpoints and aspects, and Camden and I fight. You know, a lot of siblings fight, and I understand that, and we argue, but at the end of the day, we love each other, and that's how I feel with both of my siblings. And the relationship I had with Ainsley was so strong because we had to find ways to be siblings. We had to work actively. We ran together, and we did these things together because we had to, and Ainsley couldn't just do the simple, typical things. We had to work at that, and that's why I think I was so close to Ainsley, because I wanted to be. And anyone can do that. You can have a relationship with anyone. You just have to work at it. And that's I guess what I learned from Ainsley. Okay, next one. It's getting really cold. Oh gosh. Okay. This question comes from Kelly, and she says, what do you want to do in college, and do you have any big aspirations or thoughts on how you want to do Spotlight Saturday? That's an interesting one. A lot of you probably don't know, so I think a lot of people assume that I want to do something in the special needs community, and I, of course, 100% want to stay connected to that for the rest of my life, and I will, because Ainsley's Angels. That'll always be in my life. I like to write, I like to do videos, but I also have this other passion for the environment that maybe not a lot of you know about, but I'm extremely passionate about the environment and climate change and all that kind of stuff. I won't get into all that because I could make an hour-long video. I could make a series about that. But that's, you know, the environmental sciences aspect of things is definitely something that piques my interest for college. And then as for Spotlight Saturday, I want to do it for as long as I can, but I'm not going to push it if it's not working out anymore, you know? I just want it to live its life naturally, and I will put all of my effort into it until its time is just gone, and I will be thankful to have all of this amazing content. Alright, it's really cold. I think two more, okay? Let's see. This one is from Cindy, and she says, did you ever wish you were the special needs child instead of Ainsley? Wow, that is an intense question. I guess you can kind of look at that two different ways. The special needs child gets more attention. That's I mean, the bluntest way I can put it. But as for me, as an individual, I never sought that attention that Ainsley got, because my parents were so amazing in making sure that each of their kids felt loved the same. So for me, I never had that aspect of it, which I know that's probably something that some siblings do have. And then there's the other aspect of it, whereas I want to take that away from you. You don't deserve that, right? And I can probably remember a couple times when I did feel like I had just messed up or I didn't know what I was doing in my life, and that Ainsley's over here doing so well in her life and I'm not, and she doesn't deserve this. Maybe I deserve it. Like, why wasn't it me? With Ainsley's specific disease, there was a 1 in 4 chance that I was going to have it. And that's kind of hard when you're growing up, to know, like, a 1 in 4 chance that I could have had this, but she got it. And that's hard, especially for someone who's, like, I'm a critical thinker and that kind of stuff, and I realize that I am extremely lucky to have my health, and I don't know. I mean, this is a rambly answer, but I don't have a straightforward answer. I guess the answer would be no. Ultimately, I wouldn't want... I don't know. Last question. It's really cold here. Okay. This one comes from Anita, and she says, "What do you miss most about your angel sister?" Alright, so Ainsley is a unique case, I think, when it comes to, when you look at, like, all of the people who have lost a sibling. I think Ainsley's more of a unique case because from the minute she got her diagnosis, we knew that she wasn't going to live past, you know, a certain age. The life expectancy was 5 to 10. She did live to be 12, but in the back of our heads that was always something. And so whenever I think about the things that I miss most about her, some of it comes from way back in the very beginning of her life. I miss the time in her life whenever we didn't know that anything was wrong, and she would smile and be this cheerful little kid, and I don't remember that very vividly, but I have some memories of that time in her life, and I miss that. But at the same time, I had her for so long when she couldn't do that kind of thing, and so I guess ultimately I just miss her presence, and I miss being upstairs and knowing that she's downstairs, and I miss walking into the living room and seeing her there, and I miss laying with her, and I miss the softness of her skin, and I miss the sound that she would make when the wind would blow in her face, and I miss the little things that just told me that she was there. And a lot of people would say, like, she is still here, and of course 100% her presence, she's in our hearts, always. But I miss the physical part of it. But Born an Angel offers a little bit of that physicalness, I don't know, but I'm glad that I wrote Born an Angel when I was in 6th grade, because since I was at such a different point in my life, it offers such a cool perspective, and I have this forever. And I'm thankful for you guys, for keeping Ainsley in your hearts, and for remembering the presence, and remembering everything about her, and keeping her legacy and her mission alive. And I hope that Born an Angel helps so many people to do that and to remember Ainsley, because I remember her, and you remember her, but I want the whole world to Oops, in the snow now.
Oh, I'm gonna look at it. Wait, I gotta. What is this? What happened, Briley? Oh, goodness gracious! Oh goodness. Okay.
All right.
Is that the end?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, in close, I've done this closing like 40 times because I don't know what to say, but thank you guys for your support and for asking your questions. Again, if you asked a question, you'll be getting a signed copy of Born an Angel. Not this copy because it's covered in snow now, but you'll be getting one, and I hope that you'll consider donating that to a school. You know, copies have been donated to so many places, right? So many schools, and I'm so thankful for that. So many people in the comments were telling us all the places that books have been donated, and I love hearing that. For those of you who don't know also, books were donated to the first family in the White House. Like, the reach of this is just amazing, and that's you guys, right? That's not me, that's you guys, and so thank you for that. If you're interested in learning more about my future efforts, because a lot of questions were about that, then I invite you to go to the Born an Angel Facebook page. I don't update it very often, but I'm working on doing that more often, and then also the Ainsley's Angels Facebook page. And it's really, really cold, so I hope all of you have a great week, and we'll see you in episode 53, and thank you for watching!
A young angel born with
Okay, here we go. Bucket list. Now move your feet. There you go. That is pretty doggone special. What are you doing? What'd you do?
I made a snow angel.
For what?
Spotlight Saturday.